But if in that moment you stop everything that you are doing and go to appreciation, you stop paying attention to that sensation inside of you, stop everything you're doing and you start to appreciate what you have around you and in front of you. If you start to go deep into a narrative of appreciation for everything that you have in your life right now, immediately the obstacles from the past will start to crumble. They will start to disappear. All your wounds will start to mend. And if you sustain that process, your appreciation, a deep, seated, profound presence of appreciation. Remember, don't pretend appreciation. Become it. It is a state, because that's what we are aiming for. That state is a deep presence. The sensation is completeness.
This channeling represents beings from astral planes and beings who are incarnated on this planet, the highest self of the channeler, Sananda Kumara, and many other beings and entities that are at service of the evolution of humanity. The way of speaking and the tone of voice might be disturbing for those who are not used to it. Perceive the energy and frequency behind each entity that presents itself to assist you and your ascension, as well as the evolution of this planet. So be it, and so it is. We wish you an excellent experience.
All the old wound in a higher frequency and form in which you can perceive reality. There is no such things as wound. Why? Because in the deepest aspect of yourself, you are complete and unwounded. There is no limitation of form. There is no experience that can change that. To be whole is to be healed. To be holy and sacred. Your completeness is already in your golden heart. But if there is completeness in you, why would you or anyone choose to be in a wounded state? Oh, my old wound. Why I carry around a wounded self? There is layers upon layers upon layers of perceptions that we could unfold about this. But above all, understand a significant aspect of this dynamic. When you carry around your wounded self, there is a self that is making decisions that is wounded. And everything that the wounded self can conceive, decide, or dream will enhance and validate the wounds once again. The wounded self cannot be unwounded. And that is a very strong characteristic that you humans tend to forget. You make decisions and you decide to change things with a wounded person as a character. And the only thing that aspect of you can conceive and like and appreciate and magnetize and drift towards is more pain. But wait, there is breakings in this cycle. When that happens? Well, we just talked about it, isn't it? There is a fragment of self on you that is beyond the wound. A heart centering that can break from time to time in any human life. It's cycles of pain. It creates gates of ascension, of transformation, or at least, in the smaller cases, redemption. So can slowly and incrementally undamage itself. So a wounded vessel in the form can only provoke more pain on itself and others. And you say, oh, that is a terrible thing. This is a very limiting human perspective that includes morality, judgment, and completely misunderstand the process. That is no good or bad from our perspective, you see. From a soul level, everything is always perfect as it is. But then a simpleton mind, a simplistic person may say, so, okay, so just let go with our life. And then again, you're oversimplifying things and forgetting that aspect of you that is already complete and everything is perfect as it is. It is because it is standing on another realm, but wants to enter in this realm. And when it tries to anchor completely itself in this new reality, then this reality must start mirroring its perfection. And then there is this deep, ingrained preference for harmony, beauty, co-creation in a state of love. All of these are labeled words that are devoid of meaning if you misunderstand them. If you try to put your human's interaction in it. Love in a movie in Hollywood is very distinct of this love we talk about. So all of those labels, they're trying to point into a state. And this state is full of grace and beauty, is devoid of wounds. So it may seem paradoxical when you try to be simplistic about it. When you try to oversimplify the beauty of multidimensionality, things seem to be against each other instead of aligned in different layers of reality. So as you go in your journey of ascension, you cannot follow around making decisions with the wounded me trying to hide underneath. If you make it so, you're canceling out the hard creation. And this is hard and tricky to understand for many of you because you are misguided and what it means to be with your heart. What it really means to connect to this divine spark. There is this interaction with your heart when you are beginning your journey, that is to open up your heart. To open up your heart is a very distinct inner movement that is included in Golden Heart guidance, but it is not it. To open up your heart, it literally means that there was something shut down, a connection between your mind on the brain and your mind in the stomach. So this narrow network of yours were disconnected, not having a positive interaction. So the opening of the heart, in a sense, is the beginning of negotiation, armistice. Let's now put an end to the war. But when this happens, the negotiation table is in your heart, where they sit together to talk is in your heart. Pay attention because this is very important. And many of you, when you are finally stop repressing, start to get confused about this negotiation table on your heart, and believe that that voice that is trying to find an agreement with you is your golden voice, and it cannot be further from the truth. That is the beginning of a dialogue between you and your shattered parts, in which many of them are literally personifications of pain. So if you blindly follow them, you'll be into a deep state of illusion. Why, divine child? Because those parts are in a deep state of duality. So they drift into this world through the process of illusion, of occultation, of hiding. What does that mean? That they come with duality in its own creation. I create something good and comes with a bad. But then I try to cover up the bad and pretend that it's not there and focus on the positive aspect of it. So then there is an illusion. Do you see? That illusion, pay attention, will bring you unmeasurable layers of pain. Why unmeasurable? Because literally you don't know it yet. There is illusion into it. Why this happened? Because of frequency, child. Those parts of you that are disconnected, they are literally the representation of your survival. It is connected to your so-called reptilian brain, fight or flight. So it's trying to make itself safe by repeating the known. It is attached to the old, and that's why it keeps repeating itself. So when these negotiation tables starts to open, those parts of you may come into your heart to talk. And if you believe completely into it, you'll feel the illusion. This is a common mistake that we saw so many times. How we deal with it? With love. We do not resent any aspect of us that is looking for comfort into the known. What you may so call comfort zone comes from this interaction, the repetition of the known. That, as Sananda states very clearly many times, is not comfortable at all. It's just predictive. What we're trying to remind you of is that there is an inner science that requires and demands clarity, dedication, devotion. Because in all of this process, what you are fine-tuning is the capacity in a symbolic level to be a pilot of this manifested temple and bring into form your immortality, your endlessness. So to learn to pilot this very complex entity of you is a demanding process that we may label it, although simplistically, as essential. So all of those wounds I carry around, it's time to focus on them a little bit. So right now we're talking how people get confused about the negotiation table, because the wounds are energies that are not flowing. And those things that comes on the negotiation table are strategies coming from the wound itself to try and fulfill it. But you understood that those strategies come from a frequency of survival. So it is ingrained in it duality. Having, not having. So there is lack in it, pain in it, suffering in it, absence in it, in a big measure. It's not a little bit. Let's pretend it's 50-50 for the sake of convenience in conversation. Now, an ascended master incarnated into form will move probably 98% of completeness and 2% of randomness into its creation. It's a very different frequency. Just to give you perspective. So when we move those pains as if they are our heart, you get in a state of self-illusion. And then you may live your life for a few years making decisions like this and things never work. And you may say, oh, spirituality is broken. No, child, you have been superficial. Because you are so focused on just tending those cravings and needs, instead of truly understanding them, creating space for clarity, So clarity here is the key in which you create space for ascension. Clarity of the feminine. The materiality of it. So the wounds we carry around, they will go into this negotiation table. And all of its propositions will never work. Never. And you say, wow, that is unfair. No, it is not, darling. My beloved. This is just understanding of duality. It is working from our perspective, but not for the one that is making the decision, that is in a state of illusion. You see, from our perspective, we see the yes and the no, the positive and the negative, and the ramifications. We are in a state of clarity and love. But for the one who is making the decision, it feels betrayed. Because it makes all of those things and it does not work. It feels a lot of pain and suffering in it. Why this is happening? Well, because you made your decisions on a duality state. That's why. So there is an illusion, an idea that only the good things that this part is bringing to the table is going to manifest. And ignorance of not perceiving the other flip of the coin, what we may call causality in three-dimensionality, karma, hides all the negatives that you don't want to acknowledge or see or accept at all. So again, do you understand why love is the key for it? Because love would open those doors you're shutting closed of clarity. So when those voices come to your heart, you'll not be in a state of illusion. You see what is hiding underneath. Do not be denying that negativity that may be very strong because you are afraid of the repercussions of those choices. Let me grab the positive of it and pretend that this is going to work. I'm sorry, it shall not. Not for you at least. In a sense of what you pretend it's going to happen. From our perspective, this is just one step in your inner mastery. If you grow with it, or maybe it will be so painful you need to be reborn. Who knows? So those pains we carry around, pay attention now, we're trying to get this momentum. Do not have the capacity on it to go beyond itself. It is in a prison of frequency. It cannot transmigrate itself. That is the old dilemma of the rebel that is fighting against whatever. It is in resonance with what is fighting with. So when it takes it for itself, the power can only do the same or worse. So there is no solution for that dilemma inside the mentality of the wound. The unhealed self, the wounded me, cannot self-conceive beyond it. Stop trying. It is a long process of love and accept when you can start conceiving from an understanding of what is in the other side of the negotiation table, that is happening only if you have an open heart and it is not denying the negatives that comes with those supposedly positive decisions. And when we do that, we start navigating towards integrality. And then we say, okay, so life will always have happiness and suffering. No, we stated to you that an ascended master will have 98% of integrality in positivity. Positivity meaning it will create what it wants to create, and that there is no self-deceit. What is the difference? Frequency, guidance. That is the process all of you need to learn and understand. These happen as you flex your creative muscle. And it happens very fast when you're grounded on the truth, surrounded by Master. It may take a while anyway, because that's how it goes. So those wounds of you all represent frequencies that cannot create something good, at least in the way you conceive it. Only the good that is being presented, surrounded by flowers, hiding the stinkness of the pain, will come with it. This is how normal, careful with this label, normal humans go around. And their positivity in this, again, label New Age trend is a very good artifice of hiding. So they are very good pretender, actor, liar. We are not against it at all. It's just a stage of separation. But what we're trying to teach you is something that goes way beyond it. Is an actuality in the positivity that is really transmuting, transmigrating, becoming gold, migrating to a 98%. Why 98? Because it is cool to have 2% of randomness, flavor. It can be more if you want. It is unnecessary. Are you understanding? So anytime you believe you are listening to your heart, there is this exercise of really coming in togetherness with all your pains and wounds and appreciating them, and starts to perceive the self-deceit with a tender, compassionate perception. An open heart creates the field of compassion, like an adult looking to a child and saying, "It's not as simple as that, my beloved son." That says like this, "Mother, Father, I will create these wings of paper and fly from the highest tree I can find." And if you are a person deep into illusion, you will say, yes, my child, go and do that. If you are an ascended being, because there is this, how can I not cut his positivity? By bringing clarity. Explain to him that he does not need wings to fly. If he can achieve the frequency in which wings are unnecessary. But there is a complexity into it, a science that many of you don't want to get the hard work into developing. To really spend long periods of your linear time bringing new frequencies and breaking linearity. You keep going in this hypnosis of life. Being me. I am being me. Well. How these have worked for you so far? The earth needs you as a master of self. You want to be a master of self on your deepest level. This is your greatest soul desire. To enjoy creation. Have fun as a master of self. So be it, and so it is. We already misconstrued and misunderstood pain in many levels as we talk about this such deep, profound aspect. Pain on a tantric level, as would be described by this master seated here, is the absence of flow of energy in the web of life in your system. So pain is the absence of something that should be flowing and it's not flowing. So, pain is a reduction of self. Pain is a reduction of alignment. Pain is a fibrillation of presence. Pain is a fibrillation of presence that is demanding attention from something, somewhere, to look at it. So pain is a side effect from our deeper perspective of a fibrillation on your consciousness field, your awareness field. So when your consciousness is not strong enough to self-conduct in unison, pain will arise as a fibrillation, calling your awareness into place. Many of you are addicted to pain and drama, deep suffering, because you feel alive, very alive, because you are stuck into presence by default. And then you need a reality, a planet that is full of suffering so you can be very present. From our perspective, the healing is very obvious. Presence, strong, fully connected to aliveness. That's why Kumara is tantric in its core, because he is masterfully guiding life. And this is an illusion because he goes beyond the labels of humanity. But that is a way of you understanding him. But we're not here to talk about him, but why he puts so much focus on it. When he teaches you to connect to aliveness and to be aware, and how you can only do that in a state of inner love. That he so kindly took the perception of an inner asana. You need to have the guts and the courage to transcend these painful desires that crumbles you into pieces. These are addictions that are no longer necessary for you, child. What you need right now is to transcend those weird interactions with yourself. When we say weird, because they no longer serve you. And start seeding a deep, profound presence with aroma and frequency. So then you have a clarity that outgrows your pain. I can be so free of this shit. I don't need this cyclic shit in my life anymore. I can be a wounded master and pretend I am happy. But I can actually be very happy if I am very present. So my attunement to presence field, from our perspective, stop the fibrillation. These that some have called your pain body. It's just another symptom. It's not the cause. Pain body is not the cause. It's a symptom of your addiction. We say addiction because this could already be well behind. It no longer is needed or serves you. But how do I do this, Master? How can you guide me out of this shit, as you call it? Be awakened! This is what I say to you. Oh, but you're so simplistic, Master. What is this awaken you call? Open your eyes and see the beauty around you from a deep perspective. Describe reality with its undertone. Appreciation. A master, when it's working, even if it's cooking, painting, sculpting, chanting, it is very present. Because it appreciates the intricacy of what it's doing. Some of them do that through tension. They're tense. It's very irritating for them to do what they do. They want to quit. So it's not actually working for them. But there is those that do it from a state of deep love and appreciation. So they are very present when they are working. Appreciation is a tool of deep presence when you go to the undertones of reality. And what I mean by that, Don't be simplistic about your appreciation. Don't say, oh, this is a tree, master, I like it. Know your ignorant self. This is not what the master is teaching. I'm sorry, this is to make it more fun. It's too intense for someone. But this will sink in your brain when I talk like that. Look not for a tree. There is no such thing. There is no tree. This is you creating a label for a very unique entity in front of you that is a miracle. Every one of them are different, but you try to make them the same with this ridiculous label. These are all trees. No! They're all so unique. Even all of those that you grow straight in a line, they're all different when you look at them. Look at them. Look beyond labels. Appreciate its form, texture, color, how it drifts when the wind comes, and how the light shines on its leaf. When you look at someone, don't say, oh, this is a nose, this is our eye. Look at those eyes. Look at that nose. Appreciate it. Why you suffer? It's so simple. Just appreciate it. So be it, and so it is. So as we resonate on this fuse, the power of clarity and understanding of all those so complex things, you start to arise the obvious thing that you already know from previous beautiful channelings and interactions. That pain represents a formula inside creation itself to bring the awareness into play. And there is different ways in which those same processes can be avoided and the result be enjoyed, as if appreciation being one of them. Deep, profound presence arises from deep, profound appreciation. If pain creates cycles to you that repeats themselves, pay attention now, this will change your life. This will change your life forever if you really listen to what we are saying. If pain has been creating cycles in your life, understand its mechanics. There is this emptiness in your belly that I need to do something about. I need to move, I need to act, I need to change something. It's killing me. I cannot stay where I am doing what I'm doing. This is killing me. This is your emptiness that keep you moving from one disgrace to another. I cannot deal with these sensations in my body. I need to move. That is the frequency, and that's what will create again. You will do some movement that will give some form of relief and the illusion that everything is going to work now. And then again, the situation will come, maybe stronger now, the pain. Because there is less space for the seed. And then again, and again, and again, and again, endlessly hiding and lying to itself until death torns you apart. But if in that moment you stop everything that you are doing and go to appreciation, you stop paying attention to that sensation inside of you, stop everything you're doing and you start to appreciate what you have around you and in front of you. if you start to go deep into a narrative of appreciation for everything that you have in your life right now, immediately the obstacles from the past will start to crumble. They will start to disappear. All your wounds will start to mend. And if you sustain that process, your appreciation, a deep, seated, profound presence of appreciation. Remember, don't pretend appreciation. Become it. It is a state, because that's what we are aiming for. That state is a deep presence. The sensation is completeness. Because instead of running away from an emptiness, you are running towards the beauty of everything around you. And if you keep doing that again and again and again, one day after the other, you get intoxicated with beauty and joyfulness. And then something miraculous will happen. Your life will start to open doors that you were closing with your resentment. And if you keep appreciating, more synchronicities will arise. There is no effort around it. You don't need to do anything else. Life will unfold the miracles you want, that you don't know yet you want, because this wanting that you had was from your wounds. And now you know a new form of wanting, that is those wounds in a higher frequency, in a deeper state of completeness, that you didn't know you actually wanted, is that. Because you could not conceive that, because that was broken to you behind the locks you put of frequency. This is a very pragmatical, very objective step. Not philosophical, not exoterical, mysterious. It's governance, guidance. It requires a presence that chooses though. It needs that ignition point of, I am aware and I know that if I don't do that, misery is coming my way. Break the addiction of the wounded me by appreciating life everywhere around you. So be it, and so it is. It's interesting that you can oversimplify everything, and in that process hide or lose the deepest truths behind it. We could save humanity by saying appreciate life, and this sentence has been said and nothing came out of it. Maybe a few people understanding, because it's not about that sentence, but everything that came before that sentence, pre-paving the clarity in you, what it truly means, and what you get out of it. You have clarity now that this appreciation cannot be superficial. It's a deep intrinsic state that unlocks doors of frequency, that actually starts to bring you new forms of creation as a shortcut that goes elevating you towards your golden heart. And we did not talk about how can you go straight on to your heart in a golden state. You see, this, we're just talking about the pain process and how you get confused with listening to the heart. So to you understand that this simplistic sentence, it means nothing without the deep awareness that we brought to you about why it is relevant. So it's just a placeholder. Like the lighthouse. The lighthouse, it is there to protect ships from rocks, or sometimes to tell them, there is the land, there is the harbor. Do you understand? They are placeholders. They are not the thing in itself. Do you understand? The lighthouse is calling for something else. It's pointing to something. So when you say appreciate life, it's devoid of meaning. It's a placeholder, it's a lighthouse for a much deeper concept, in which now, from this channeling, if you listen to it again if necessary, you will never again in your life forget. And if you apply this to everyday to-day aspects, you're guaranteed to have a life that slowly goes disappearing the duality, and masterhood enters to every side of your existence. So be it, and so it is. As you awaken to those understandings, how much of your life has been guided by those mistakes of going following cravings and just taking the bright flip side of the coin, hiding a lie to yourself about the price you are going to pay later on, or following misaligned decisions that may as well destroy your life and life of others, but you're hiding behind the black part. How many times you made these kind of decisions in your life? Some of you did enough. Some of you do not recognize it did at all because it pretends. But the result was always the same. Anyway. So now you have a way, a tool, that this can be so much more beautiful and bright to yourself. So what is behind this channeling is that instead of acting outside or making decisions, you suspend this in your life and you start appreciating, 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 appreciating. And allow this to make the miracle you require for your creation. So be it, and so. Now that you're there and you're connected to your body, you have compassion for it. It hides from you many things, not on purpose, just because that is how it works in this frequency. It knows no better, it cannot outgrow its own frequency without the guidance. As you perceive this, just embrace life as it shows itself in front of you. Embrace your body as it presents itself in front of you. And choose deep inside that you deserve to be supported in your creations. Choose deep inside that you allow the guidance of masters to come and express itself in your life. I deserve to be guided by masters of self. I deserve to be supported in my growth. I choose and allow the divine beings of light to co-creating heaven and earth with me, to interact with me during this day, to guarantee my creations in high frequency, locking me into beauty and love. So be it, and so it is. Visualize this beautiful network that is both horizontal and vertical, is a mandala with many levels. Now imagine that there is many realities superimposed on top of each other, creating this mandala in many dimensions, like an hologram. Superimposing many different colors, lines, frequencies. And visualize that this group is forming a layer of it. And you are very sacred and important to us. And visualize yourself when you tune into your heart, and when you tune into your beauty, and you tune into the creation of the new earth. You make this mandala stronger, more beautiful, more resonant, and you're an integral part of it, and you're relevant to it. That if you, for any reason, go away from this co-creation in your heart, this mandala will not be the same. You are sacred. But now have appreciation for all the sacred forms that hold their space for you, so you can be part of such a beautiful mandala. All the ones that are there with you, be appreciative of it. Be appreciative of all the beings that hold the flame, the decision, the commitment. So this can be formed and created in the reality. Visualize them in many dimensions of space and time, cooperating, triggering, connecting, guiding you, avoiding negativity in your life, by taking you back a few steps to protect you and then pushing you forward to elevate you, to dance with you, to guide you in perfection, deep, beautiful life. All of us dancing, so this mandala is alive, it's flowy. This is the beauty of us in co-creation and connection. As you understand this integrality and interconnectivity of us, you can comprehend the importance of all of us when we choose to align, how we make this so sacred and beautiful. So we honor all of you that sustain its alignment and celebrate the beauty of everything that we co-create. And we invite you to feel our presence. You can sense us, we are so many. Feel our presence in your body, and feel how we express ourselves during your day to guide you, to hold you in truth and beauty. Feel us in your life as we feel you in ours. As we say, you're multidimensional, and we see the ramifications of what you're doing in space and time continue. We can see the future, so we see you for all the beauty you are, not only what you are right now. It's an inconceivable beauty for us from many different angles. So remember, we see you as a whole, not as a picture, not as a moment, but we see you as a picture and as everything else. So see us also in the same way. Feel us always present in your life as a flowing process. As you recognize the beauty of our presence in your existence, remember that this is a thing of beauty, harmony and love. And that is the state we look for, and appreciation is the key to activate. As you understand this and you go into your alignment, remember we're all here together, expanding endlessly in all directions. So be it, and so it is. And as we stand unified, we may as well decree our union as an amazing thing to see by saying all of us together out loud as one singular voice. So be it, and so it is, because this is my will, the will of divine sacred consciousness, divine sacred presence, manifested right here, right now, in this earth, through this face and temple of I am. So be it, and so it is, so be it, and so it is, so be it, and so it is. Gratidão, gratidão, gratidão.